In this video, I'm going to show you how to prep your RV roof before applying new sealant so it actually sticks. The tools and supplies you need for this process are going to be some cleaners. So I use Simple Green and a scrub brush for the initial cleaning, and I'll follow up with some 91% alcohol and a towel so we'll clean things up afterwards. During the cleaning process, you'll probably need a nylon scraper to remove loose sealant, maybe a razor blade as well, and of course some gloves because this process is messy and sticky. So let me show you what we're working with. From this point to your right, I've removed the old sealant, and this point to your left, the old sealant is still here. The process is similar in both areas to clean it and prep it. I'm going to start on the existing sealant section, then work my way to your right to where that sealant's been removed to show you the whole process across the front cap. So let me grab my Simple Green and scrub brush, and we'll start cleaning to get the initial dirt off, and then we'll go down deeper from there. So what I'll do is I'll spray the Simple Green down, then use a scrub brush. Don't need to get too aggressive with it. You're just trying to remove the loose dirt and debris. Once you've scrubbed it loose, use your towel and wipe off the loose dirt and wet dirt you just created. Now the area that we're working with, this sealant, I'm cleaning about 1 inch past it here. And yes, this roof has some cracking in the membrane. The customer knows that eventually this roof needs to be replaced, but we can still seal on top of this. That's not going to be an issue. I'm going to work my way down to the corner and then back closer towards the camera. So the question would be, how clean does it need to be before resealing? Are you going to get the sealant bright white like it was when it was brand new, or this one I believe was gray? No, and it doesn't really matter. What you're looking for is removing the dirt and debris. You can see there's dirt in this section. This RV is below a tree, so it gets dirty really fast, even though they clean the RV quite often. So we're cleaning off this section right here to make sure anything loose is removed. That's where the scrub brush comes in handy. Simple Green helps for the dirt portion of it. Now, once I've cleaned this section with the Simple Green, I will use the alcohol just to remove any soap residue or anything left from the Simple Green. This is 91%. I prefer that over the 70% because it is a little bit more powerful and cleans better. And I'm not going at it too aggressive. I'm just removing any last residue because the Simple Green removed all of the loose stuff. So that's this side. Next, I'll do the other side in a similar process. But before I use a cleaner, I'm going to remove anything that's loose. This paint that's chipping here, I'll remove that all the way across here. Then I can clean down to the surface I'll be resealing on top of. Having to use a razor knife like this is typically only something that has to be done when the RV has a paint job over the sealant like this. If this was a pre-painted front nose cone and the sealant was over top of that, the sealant will be just like this side on the roof, and you wouldn't have to peel paint off because it would not be on top of the sealant. This is a full body paint RV, so that's when they come across things like this. Okay, finish up with the scraper just to loosen up anything that was peeling. The paint that stuck well is not going to be an issue. I'm going to clean it the same way on this side as I did over here, just past the sealant, so that way all the dirt and debris is out of the way. Same process with this will be Simple Green and then the alcohol. Before that portion, I'm just going to take my dry rag, brush off that loose paint, so that way it's not stuck inside of my scrub brush. So now that half is done. I'm going to do the same process over here, but Erica and I need to switch sides because she is in the way. These leaves are making a fun party today. I've blown this area off I don't know how many times to make it clear so you can see what I'm doing, but it's raining on me. It's one of those days that the leaves are deciding to shed. So this will be the same process. I'm spraying on the roof portion here. Try not to spray to the inside. So first layer was cleaned off with the simple green. Now we'll follow up with alcohol. Okay, let me pause in here for a second and talk about using brake cleaner, which when I initially was taught for cleaning preppy roof sealant, this is one of the methods that was shown to me. And I did a video on it before and I had tons of questions about people. Oh my gosh, that's hard on roofs. It's made for brakes, not for roofs. Well, everything is a chemical to a point. And when I researched this, different types of brake cleaner have different types of petroleum or naphtha inside of it. And that product is what's hard on the roof itself. The process I was shown is spray this onto a microfiber towel. So spray it onto a section. And then that spot that's wet with brake clean, you would go across the sealant itself, keeping it isolated to the area you're working with. Then once you've had the loose dirt and debris removed with this, then follow up with alcohol for your final prep. By doing that, I never had an issue using brake cleaner at all. And I've also asked several RV roof manufacturers about the process. And they said, if you're doing it this way, just keeping it on the sealant and not letting it sit or just spraying it on in general, that would be an issue. But being responsible with it, it's not going to cause an issue. I do keep this inside of my cleaner tote. Once in a while, this is needed to get something stubborn off, which is usually on the sidewall of an RV, on the trim, when I'm trying to remove the sticky sealant where possibly a turn-on tape was used in the slide out, or changing a wiper seal in the slide out. So I really haven't had to use this since I've been using Simple Green to break down the dirt and debris on the top. So this seems to be much more environmental friendly and easier on any roof material. But again, in either process, I use alcohol to follow up afterwards. Now somebody had asked, can I use acetone to clean my roof? Well, acetone is a lot harsher chemical than any of the ones I'm using, and that is known to eat rubber. So if you're using that on the roof, it's going to cause issues. The person maybe is thinking about acrysol, which is another type of chemical, similar properties to brake clean, and I know some other techs use that and don't have an issue. I haven't personally used it to know if it's good or bad. That's talking about acrysol, but don't use acetone. So now I'll go back to the cleaning process here. So I'll put some alcohol into my towel and remove anything that is left as far as the soaps and cleaners. Now you'll see as I'm going across this, the old sealant is just rolling up a little bit. The little bit that's left there is not a problem. The new sealant will adhere to that. And removing anything that's loose, kind of working my way from the center towards the edge, keeps any of those loose marbles from being in the way and affecting the new layer of sealant. Okay, everything is now cleaned and ready to reseal. One question you're probably wondering is, how long does it need to dry before I reseal? Well, if you have a day, especially like today, that's breezy, this stuff is already dry and ready to reseal. If you had a damp, humid day, 100% humidity, it's not going to dry as quickly. These leaves are crazy. Losing stuff up here. You know, I give it a few minutes before I come back. I'm not cleaning and resealing right afterwards, working my way across from one end to the other. So I started on the left side of the RV. I will reseal on that side first and finish on the right side. Me, I'm also right-handed, so it's better for me to go that direction when I seal. So in my head, I always plan it out to clean the area first, that I'll reseal first, so that way it has time to dry in between. Now this video is part of a complete series showing the entire process from inspecting sealant to resealing sealant. If you want to see the whole process in one video, along with the tools and supplies I use in the process, that video is linked in the description below.